is the tax exemption, that is the profits of startup initially exempted from tax for a period of 3 years. That is, once a small scale industry is being set up, then for 3 years they are exempted from tax. That is, they don't need to pay tax for a period of 3 years. That is a benefit given to them. Then ways to fund startup. How can you find fund for a new startup business, new startup venture? First one is bootstrapping, commonly known as self-financing. It's considered as the first funding because stretching out your personal savings. That is, to start a business, firstly we will take our own earnings. That is known as bootstrapping. That is self-earnings, self-financing. Next is crowdfunding. It is a pooling of a group of people for a common goal. That is, your collecting money from group of people. Next is angel investment. Angel investors individual surplus cash or keen interest to invest the upcoming startup. That is, they are having surplus fund with them and they are interested in starting up a new venture. And they also offer mentoring or advising. They also do this function along with their interest in startups. Next is venture capital. There are professionally managed funds which are invested in companies that have huge potential. That is, for venture capital, funds are being invested in companies that have huge potential. Venture capitalists provide expertise, mentorship, act as a litmus test where a business organization is going, evaluating business from a sustainability and scalability point of view. What is venture capitalist? What they provide? They provide expertise, mentorship, or advice about what? About evaluating the sustainability or scalability of the business. They study about that. Next is business incubators and accelerators. That is, early stage business can consider incubators and accelerator programs as funding option. So these programs assist hundreds of startup business every year. It is like a parent who nurtures the business. That is, business is considered as a child. That is, accelerate its growth. Next is microfinance and NFBCs. This microfinance is basically access to financial services to those who either do not have access to conventional banking services or have not qualified for a bank loan. So if a venture cannot avail loan from banking institution, they can avail it from NBFCs or microfinance they can access. Next is about intellectual property right. What is intellectual property right? So about intellectual property right is, all inventions or creations begin with an idea. That is, when you are going to produce a product or when you are going to start a business, you have an idea. So it begins with an idea. So once this idea becomes a product, when your idea has been changed to an actual product, intellectual property, one can apply to the authority concerned under the government to for protection. That is, you have produced that product and you can ask protection for from the part of government. Then nobody should cheat you. Nobody should produce the same which you have been provided because it was your idea. So for protecting this property is known as intellectual property right. That is, hence intellectual property right refers to product of human mind. Hence, just like other types of property, the ownership of IP can rent, give or sell it to any other people. The owner must give the permission if he wishes to transfer it to somebody else or sell it or to give it for rent. So it is a protection against your product. That is intellectual property right. The first one is copyright. Copyright is the right to not copy. That is, you should not copy someone else's idea because it is his own idea and he has expressed it, he has made it into a product. So you doesn't have the right to copy it. This is known as copyright, protection from copying. So it is an exclusive right that the unauthorized use of content, which includes reproducing and distributing copies of the subject matter, is prohibited. That is, you cannot copy the subject matter or the product or reproduce the same thing in another manner. So that is known as copyright. That means not to copy. Next is trademark. Trademark is in any word, name or symbol that lets us identify the goods made by an individual, company, organization. That is, it's a trademark. When you get a good, you know that this is having a reputation or it is having a goodwill, that a branded one. So if Adidas and Nike, such companies have a brand name or trademark because their products are very costly, but it is of huge quality. So we can distinguish it from others. So these competitors, they cannot make use of the same trademark to sell their products. They cannot, they're making local goods and they are giving it Nike as the name and they are selling it. So that you should not do that, because that is cheating. So trademark means the reputation or goodwill that a company has made by its talent. Like you should not copy its color, label, logo, or the shape of goods. It should be different. Next is patent. Patent is a type of proper intellectual property right which protects the scientific inventions, which shows technical advancement of already known product. It is an exclusive right granted by the government which provides right to exclude all others and prevent them from making use, offering for sale, selling, or importing the invention. That patent is given to a person who is producing something new from the one existing. That is with the technological advancement, they are making new product over the already existing product. For that products, this patent is being provided. That means it must be new and it must be non-obvious to any other person who is also skilled in this technology. He must not be known about this thing. Find it will be capable of industrial application. It could be able to be manufactured in the industry. We should be capable of manufacturing it in the industry. Next is design. Design means the shape, pattern, arrangement of lines or colors combination applied to an article. So it is a protection given to aesthetic appearance or eye-catching features. The term of protection for a design is valid for 10 years, which can be renewed for 5 years. That is, you should renew it after 5 years. For 10 years it is valid. So you cannot copy their shape, pattern, or a design of their names of the products. Only a registered design can be used after getting the license. Then you cannot change it. Other company cannot copy it. Once the period is over, you can design, but within the period you cannot do anything. It is a long procedure. Some other business organization should not copy the same symbol or logos of yours. Next is plant variety. Plant variety is essentially grouping plants into categories based on their botanical character. It is a type of variety which is bred and developed by farmers. It is mainly coming in the breeding activities of plant varieties, genetic resources. For example, hybrid version of potatoes. Such protection from investment in research and development recognize Indian farmers as cultivators, conservers, and breeders, as well facilitate high quality seeds and planting material. This leads to growth of the seed industry. So they are trying to produce new varieties from the plant seeds. This is known as plant variety. So this permission is being given by the government, and some protection activities have been taken. Protection promotes investment in research and development of these farming activities. So this is all about the chapter. So this is mainly concerned with about the role of small business in India, then role of small business in rural India, then what are the government assistance and then their schemes, then what is entrepreneurship development, so how can you develop that, and their characteristics. These are the topics covered.